Hey guys, Brickset here, and today we are working on Borg Tower some more. It's been a long time since my last video, but you'll find the other parts up there if you want. I'm bad at pointing. And yeah, stick around, it'll be a good time. So here we go. This is what we have so far, basically a big pyramid with some stuff on top of it. That was very descriptive. So yeah, this is a little boring right now. And one of the key aspects of Borg Tower is it has parts that jut out. Like, well, okay, I'll just show you because it's in the tab over here anyways. Before we continue on with the video, I have a quick announcement. This Wednesday, October 7th at 7:30, that's CST, so convert that time zone, I will be live streaming building the Destiny's Bounty because building in real life is a lot cooler than building in studio, though studio is fun. Yeah, so I'll be live streaming that. So come by, say hi, 7:30 p.m. CST on Wednesday, October 7th. And if that goes well, then I might live stream building in studio in the future. So yeah, like using this setup. So that'd be really cool. So come say hi and I will see you there. So I'm on the Ninjago wiki right now, and here's a shot from season 3, episode 1, I think. I've used this picture a lot of times throughout this building. It's one of my go-to pictures for this mock. So the Borg Tower has sort of these juts out. Looking at this right now, I'm noticing a few things that are incorrect about my design. Number one, the elevators here, you can actually see it's not going to really show it well when my mouse is over it. But there are two elevators sort of at the bottom, kind of right above the white line in the middle there. On my design, the elevators are in the back. So that's the thing. And then also you'll notice that at the base here, the widest parts actually line up with the elevator, which is not how I have it in my design. So let's take a look at that. So yeah, so this is the front of the building. The elevator shaft, I have it in the back. I don't think that is going to move because it's just not, that's just not going to work. There is already far too much going on there for that to be viable. And at this scale, it wouldn't work to put it in the front, because then you wouldn't really be able to have an interior. Because I think normally in the building, yeah, here we go. The elevator shaft is in the back of like the front lobby, but it's actually sort of in the front here. So the front lobby is down here. Now you can see my mouse. What the heck? But yeah, so that's a thing. But yeah, at this scale that we're working at, that is just not realistic at all. So I think I'll just leave it in the back. That'll just be how it is. I'm sorry. But then the other thing you'll notice, if I go back to the picture, you'll notice that there are oops. You'll notice, so yeah, like here's where the pyramid sort of ends and then it goes straight up. And this is the wide part, and then it gets skinnier, and then it juts out again, and then it gets skinnier. So what that would mean in my design is that somewhere up here, probably about this floor, this actually needs to go in and be skinnier because this is the widest that the base will ever be. So my floor design needs a little reworking, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just how it is, I guess. So yeah, the floors will actually sort of have to be in a specific order, because like right now they're exactly the same, so they're interchangeable. But in this design, I don't think that's really possible. So what I want to do first in this video is to figure out how many floors we need, just looking at this picture and going from there. So looking at this again, you got this kind of first section here, but then on the right side it's taller. So I'm kind of looking at this and thinking I would go like first floor, and then second floor, and then third floor. Though that might kind of be a lot. Let's see. Let's keep going. Just because, like, I don't know, I feel like this should end in the first floor or the second floor, and then that needs to be above. So that could be the third floor, and then it kind of looks like there's a gap. Those aren't going to be super helpful. It kind of looks like there's a gap in between. So maybe there is. Let's say that's floor 4. And then that'll be 5. 6 will probably start this one. Okay. 6. And then 7 will end that. It is getting hard to see what is going on there. Oh no, that is the top. Okay. So I believe that right here, that is actually, okay, I'll go to this picture. This is annoying. But where my mouse would be, so I'm going to move my mouse and you'll see that spot. And this right side is almost like it gets out not as far as the other side does from like the center. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could see 9. I kind of had to do that without my mouse because it was covering up, and that was really annoying, but here we are. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I added 3 stories, and this is kind of how tall it would be. Yeah. I think I'm okay with that. I don't know how else you do it. It looks kind of weird right now, but I think when we start sort of tearing into this a little bit, because remember this is like as wide as it would be on floors where both sides have extensions. The first floor would be like this, but then the second floor it would narrow, and then it would be like kind of up here, and then it would go back out, and then it would come in again. So I think it could work out. But yeah, so yeah, I'm willing to go with this. 9 seems kind of excessive, but let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so here's our first floor already done. Wow, that was great. And it's been so long, I just need to remind myself. So it's 17 by 16. Oh, that's right. The first floor was 17 because I needed to cover up a thing. But then all the other ones are 16 by 16. Okay, cool. So it's 16 by 16 for all intents and purposes. Cool. Okay. So this floor is actually good, so we don't really need to make any changes there. What we do need to address is this floor on top of it. So those are attached, and I'm struggling with my camera today, which is always fun. I'm kind of thinking I need to go in and edit this. All linked submodels will be affected by this action. That's not what we want. That's a cool feature of Studio, is if you have multiple builds, you just have to change it once. That's cool. but that's actually not what we want. Unlike from submodel. Oh, okay. I think I did it now. I've had a lot of time thinking about how I want to approach doing doing the sort of sloped pieces. And honestly, the best way that I can come up with is, so we have 2x6s, we have 2x8s, and we have 2x4s and 2x3s, 2x2s and 2x1s. Okay. So here's some cost benefit analysis math right here. 2x8 is $1.61. However, we don't need that many of them. So I think I'm going to build this a couple different ways just to... shoot. Okay, I'm going to select this, cut, and then we will go into edit mode and then paste these so they're in the submodel. Okay, I'm just going to start taking stuff away. So what I was thinking for this was pretty much just right from the floor start going inward. I'm going to build this out of 2x8s first, just because I think that that will be the easiest. So one thing I need to do is decide how big how much I want the extensions to take up. So we got 16 across, and I was kind of thinking, well, here, let's do this. It kind of looks like it's more than a third in the middle. It's definitely more than a third. So we have 16 studs to play with. I could do like 4 and then 8 and then 4. Because also the 4 studs on both sides kind of become slightly unusable space. So I decided to go with 4 studs for the big one. There's one that's a little narrower, and that can be 2 studs. We'll get to that when we get to that. But basically, here we go. This is kind of what I'm thinking. And actually going 4 studs works out perfectly because I can use this window, which lines up perfectly with the tops of these windows. So I love that. And yeah, so one thing that we need to address is kind of the elevator gap right here. So I can't cover up any of these holes, but I need something there. So that will just have to come from various brick pieces. So I think I'll be okay with the elevator not having it covered up on this wall, because really the only one that matters is right here, being like this column, this straight down, and that will always be there, and it won't be able to like slide out right here because it's hitting there, but then it's also hitting this wall too. So I think I'll be okay with that. So yeah, this is actually going to work out a lot prettier than I was kind of thinking it would. But yeah, so other things I need to take care of. Just for stability, I want to... What is the price difference between a 2x2 brick, 9 cents, 90? Okay, they're the same price. Okay. I'm thinking I will just pillar up right here. Although this stuff, that's like 5 cents. I'm gonna actually open that one up in Bricklink. Oh no, there's a lot of variations of it. What's the most modern version? Actually, this is a pretty cheap piece. Because it's cheaper than... Did I get rid of it? No, I didn't. Because this is 9 cents. This is 7 cents. And I need 2 of these to fill up this space. So, yeah. Although it's... Oh, hang on. So what I want is the 342C. And yep, I can fit 2 of them. And that works really, really well. Unfortunately, this sort of pillar right here is just never going to be connected to anything. Which is a little bit of a problem. And a reason for why this design would never work as an actual set, but that's okay. So I've spent the last 20 minutes working on this, maybe more. It's hard. Let's get into it. So I sort of filled in the holes that we made on the second level, and then just kind of kept going. And I tried to get the third floor to match up. Now, in doing so, I realized that I made the top of the second floor 16 by 13 wide. So a common thing when you're building Lego is you want to keep things in even numbers because it will make your life easier, because parts are just made in every even number combo, and the odd number combos not so much. Pretty much within like a 16 by 16 space, you can make any even like combination in very few pieces, which is really good when you're building floors, because you want the floor to not poke holes in itself. So this is 13. So you'll notice I have a 1 by piece right here, and that's kind of terrible. If I flip it over, though, I kind of had to brace it. It doesn't look very nice, but we'll get to that in a second. Remember how the elevator wasn't really a problem in the second floor? Yeah. The third floor, it's not attached to anything. Like, I can't have anything here on the third floor because it's not attached to anything at all. So my options are, I can leave it like this and sort of have it, the elevator just kind of be able to actually detach from the building on some floors. Which, I mean, kind of would be fine, because the elevator is more of a proof of concept than anything, because it doesn't actually work, and like I don't have any way for the elevator to stop at floors at this point. So, but I don't know. I just feel like it looks kind of unfinished, where there'll just be this hole, and like on the fourth floor, both sides will look like this. So it's not a problem here. Oh, hang on. What I was about to say was, on the fourth floor, it would be detached from both sides. So the fourth floor is when it would come out. But then in saying that, I realized that like here, it's not a problem, because the elevator would still be in its track on this side. So it might kind of be stiff and weird, but technically it would still go up and down, and it wouldn't be able to come out from the building because of this track right here. So the fourth floor is the only one here. Let's go back to The fourth floor is the only one that has anything. And then also when I was counting, I was kind of debating whether or not to have that floor. So this might be the deciding factor. Basically, what that would look like is I was thinking that there would be a floor in between here and here, where it was as skinny as it ever gets. But that doesn't have to be the case. Like getting rid of that fourth floor would potentially make it so that the elevator can never come out of the shaft. That still doesn't solve the problem of this looking bad. So I don't know what to do about that. Oh, this is frustrating. Also, I might run into an issue with the elevator still having not a whole floor, but like 3 studs where it could come out. I haven't gone as far up the building as to need to work up the underside, though I know that that will come from these pieces. Oh, this thing is going to be a stability nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Because they have to be 2x. I suppose I could do like a brick tiled thing where I offset by 1. That's probably what I'll end up doing for that. So this would essentially be like here-ish or something, and Studio's just not going to cooperate, so I'm not going to stick it there. But we might run into a situation where there's like a little gap where it could actually come out. What we could do to fix this is I could just have a giant pillar, a 1x1 pillar that's here, and then it goes up multiple floors to wherever it would then connect up again. I don't really want to do that, and that kind of limits this thing's ability to come apart. And it would just look really dumb, I think, and also break all the time. So I don't think that that is I don't think that that's the optimal route. But I don't know. So I will have to think about that. Yeah, this seems like a good place to stop though, on this part, because I'm just I'm gonna have to spend some time just thinking about this. And if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this and you're new, give it a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Comment down below if you have building suggestions. Remember, I am live streaming this Wednesday, October 7th at 7:30 CST. I'm building Destiny's Bounty, so be there or be squared and come say hi. After that live stream, I'm kind of thinking I might do some studio live stream stuff, like kind of in this setup, just live streamed. So that might be really fun. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.